Hello, my angels, and welcome. Today, we are going to be talking about self-worth, confidence, and feminine energy and how to boost those things. Now, as always, I always talk about how everything is determined on your mindset and how you think, but how do we actually change how we think so that we can show up with more self-worth, with more confidence, and more in our feminine energy? So I have come up with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things that you can do to boost your confidence, your feminine energy, and your self-worth. Now, the first one, I've written them all down. So if I look over there, it's because I'm looking at my notes. The first one, let's get stuck straight into it, is your self-worth is what you set it as. So you get to decide what your self-worth is, and your self-worth is your value, right? So what is self-worth? Self-worth is your internal state of feeling. So how you feel about yourself is going to determine what you project out and how other people are going to treat you. If you decide that you're going to keep talking to yourself negatively and putting yourself down, then your inner voice, your internal value is at a low place. So therefore, how people are going to treat you is going to reflect onto how you are treating yourself. So you have to decide where your self-worth is and where you want your self-worth to be. So if you feel like right now, actually, my internal feeling, my internal value, the way that I view myself is not very high and I wish for it to be higher and I want it to be higher. Okay, so we don't like where it is. So we don't like what it is currently. That's the first step, and that's fine. That's okay. It's acknowledging that, right? The first part is acknowledging how you're already treating yourself and what you're already deciding your self-worth is, so that you can bring it up a notch. The level in which it sits at, you are deciding what that is. So you have to recognize, where is it at the moment, and then we can decide to change it. You have stronger boundaries and you sit more in your feminine energy when you decide to bring your self-worth higher. You increase your internal sense of feeling, right? And automatically we get treated how we treat ourselves. So you have to speak light into yourself. You have to treat yourself as if you already have that higher self-worth, so that the way that you're talking to yourself impacts your mindset. So it's speaking light into yourself. It's speaking to yourself with kindness. It's not tearing yourself down, which leads me straight into the second one, right? So the first one is you recognize where your self-worth is currently and you decide that you want to bring it up a level. The second one is the way you talk to yourself. We have to see what we're actually saying to ourselves day to day. If we're telling ourselves we can't do something, if we are constantly saying we don't look good or we don't feel good, then we're actually tearing our own confidence down ourselves. So speaking to yourself in a more positive light. Affirmations are great for this. I do also believe we have to recognize with affirmations where it doesn't sit right, okay? So if you have an affirmation and it doesn't feel right, we want to recognize where that feeling is coming from, why it doesn't feel right. If you're saying a specific affirmation such as, I am confident, I am worthy of all that I desire, and you don't quite believe it, you want to sit with that. You want to sit with it, scan through the body. Where do you feel this within the body? And is there any emotions there that need to be felt? Because that's how we heal, right? We feel it to heal it, as you've heard me say before. I believe affirmations can be toxic positivity because we're just saying these positive things without dealing with the negative. When we speak light into ourselves and when we start to talk to ourselves in a nice way, we have to recognize what affirmations and sentences and beliefs we're instilling into our mind that we actually don't believe, right? If we don't believe them, they're not going to stick. So we have to recognize, okay, I don't believe this. Why don't I believe this affirmation to be true already? Why don't I already believe that I have enough confidence and I have enough self-worth? And we have to sit with that and siphon through that and see if there is anything there that needs healing, so that when we do say these affirmations, It's not toxic positivity. We're not ignoring the negative things that it's bringing up for us. We're dealing with them so that we're making room and we're making space for those affirmations to seep into our subconscious mind so that they actually stick. Because the thing is with affirmations, it can take a really, really long time for them to stick if we're ignoring the uncomfortability that comes with them. If you're saying affirmations, they are going to feel uncomfortable at first. There's a reason you're trying to instill new beliefs into your mind, but why is it making you feel uncomfortable? Is there something from your past? Is there something within you that is holding you back from believing this to be true? And if that is the case, how can we release that? How can we feel it to heal it? How can we let go of those emotions so we're making room and making space for that light and for us to speak those positive things into ourselves so we believe them, so our subconscious believes them. Recognize your thought patterns and what you say about yourself. Can't do this, I look like this, blah, 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 blah. We don't want all of that. We want to find out where those negative beliefs come from, remove them so we can instill more positive beliefs. I do talk about this more actually in my Release and Reframe program, which you can find on the website. There is a paid for version, but there is also a free version where I really go deep into how to remove those negative feelings so we can instill those more positive affirmations and beliefs into our subconscious. Number 3. Now, this is a good one for boosting your feminine energy. It's prioritizing you, prioritizing yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. I understand that the feminine energy is nurturing and we take care of others, and the feminine energy is to nurture, but it is also to nurture yourself. And if you are depleting yourself and you are not putting enough into you, then you're not able to give out what you need in that feminine energy. Some kind of routine is really, really beneficial. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do the same thing every day, get up at 5 o'clock and do all that stuff, because I don't do that and I don't believe in that. I don't think you have to. I think we can find things that fit in with us, but having some kind of ritual is really going to help you. A ritual that is going to prioritize you, fill up that emotional cup, make you feel loved, make you feel like you are nurtured yourself. For me, it's a goddess bath. I get out the candles. I do this every couple of days. I get out the candles, I get out the sage or the palo or the oils. I take time. I take the time. It's probably one of the only rituals that I make sure I have time for. I put on my music. I take my time with it. It's a hot bath. Have my crystals there. You can find something else for you. Even if this is a daily skincare routine, even if, okay, you can't do it, the bath every couple of days, the goddess bath, look up a goddess bath. It's a lot more intentional than just like your normal bath. Do these all the time, and I find that it makes such an impact on how I feel. Don't do something though just because other people say you should do it. Prioritizing yourself and your needs and having a ritual or routine should be something that fits you and actually makes you feel good. If somebody says to you, you can fuel your energy by going for a walk, yes, I believe that's true, but if you don't like walking, what's the point? What's the point in going for a walk every day if it isn't actually going to make you feel good because you don't like it? There's no point going for an hour-long walk. Yeah, go for a 10-minute walk and build yourself up. There's no point doing these big, long things if you don't know if you like them. It has to be something that makes you feel good, that fuels how you are feeling. In Goddess Baths, you can say affirmations while you're in there. That is another great time to instill new beliefs into the mind. You can journal if you want to journal, if you like writing out your feelings, writing out how you feel about yourself, be grateful for yourself, for your life. Whatever that ritual is, having a ritual/routine daily or weekly is really going to fuel how you take care of yourself and how you treat yourself. Number 4, it's okay to say no to other people. We don't have to be like, yes, I'm going to cater to your every need just because you're a kind, caring, nurturing person. We don't need to do that, right? You can say no. I would never cancel on myself. Right? This is how you boost that self-worth and boost your confidence, is you put you ahead. If you have arranged to do something with yourself, be that as simple as going on a little shopping trip and then you get asked on a date. No, you've already arranged that shopping trip. Do not cancel on yourself. If you have arranged to go to the gym, to take care of your body, nurture yourself, look after the vessel that you're in, which is a really, really important one, right? For fueling that confidence. I don't mean going to the gym to change the way you look. I mean instilling health into your body, into your vessel. If you arrange to go to the gym and then so-and-so says, do you want to go get coffee? You're not cancelling plans with yourself. You've made a commitment to yourself, for your growth, for your confidence, for your self-worth. So you do not cancel on yourself. You wouldn't cancel on a friend, so do not cancel on you. It's okay to say no to other people to prioritize your own needs. Number 5, you hear all the time in the feminine energy, don't chase, attract. But I'm going to explain it a little bit differently. I feel like when we say this, people think that we mean we're just going to sit back and just allow things to come to us, blessings, and just let people do things for us and blah, 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 blah. We have to do this when this also comes to the more negative things. It's not just about attracting the positive things. It's about receiving. It's about being okay in a receiving energy, regardless of what you are receiving. So if someone shows you their true colors and who they are, you receive that. You sit back, you watch it, you receive it, you see what it is for what it is, you take your time with it. You don't go chasing after that person. Why did you do this to me? Why did you do that? No, we've all been there. I learned this the hard way, right? We sit back and we watch, okay? And we allow ourselves to receive it without expectation. This is the hardest part of attracting and not chasing, is that people think it's this whole, like, we just sit back and we allow blessings to come to us. No, we receive things even when they're the things that we don't want, right? Even when people do not meet our expectations, we go, okay, I shouldn't have had an expectation on you. I do not want to control what other people do. I want to control other people's actions. I see it for what it is, and then I decide what I do with that energy that you have given me. It doesn't always mean that it's going to be a positive energy. I'm sorry to break it to you. And of course, we don't want to be like attracting negativity, but we do sometimes have to just sit back and see things for how they really are. We don't want to be pushing people to do stuff. We don't want to be pushing people to show up in a certain way. We don't want to be pushing people to invite us out, which can be really hard to do. And I'm not saying that this is a quick, easy thing, but what I am saying is that being in a more feminine energy and increasing that feminine energy, increasing your self-worth and your confidence, is to sit back and allow things to play out and to just watch them. Now, I'm not saying that you can't go to somebody and say, look, I'm not happy with this. I'm not saying don't express yourself. Definitely express yourself and say how you feel if you feel you need to. But we don't need to be clawing at getting the things that we want when we're given the things we don't. We receive them, we recognize them, and then we decide how we are going to moving forward. And also that goes for the positive things, right? If somebody gives you a compliment, you better be damn sure to take it. Never push away a compliment. If somebody is giving you something that is positive, if somebody is saying you are amazing at your job, or you are beautiful, or I love that dress on you, or whatever it is, take it and fully take that compliment. Years ago, I will never forget this, years and years ago, I used to really struggle to take on compliments, and I decided that I was not going to do that. And I was like, well, how do you actually take a compliment? Like, how do you actually take it on? Like, I don't believe what they're saying, so how do you take it? And what I started doing is on my phone, I started writing in the note sections anytime anyone gave me a compliment, no matter what it was, no matter how small or big a compliment it was. Anything anyone gave me that I felt was a compliment or boosted me in any way, whether I believed it or not, I would write it down. Over time, this list builds up and up and up. And it's not about what other people think of you, but when you're in a place of lack of confidence, sometimes we do need that little boost. And sometimes we are really, like, we don't see it, like we're naive to the fact of who we really are. So if you can write down this list of things, if people give you a compliment, write it down, and you'll see over time that it builds up. And then I would start to read them, and I would start to read them back and read them back and read them back until I really started to actually believe it. And that's how you take a compliment. You take it on and you say it to yourself enough until you actually believe it yourself. So receive, allow yourself to be in receiving energy, whether it is good, whether it is bad, and know that you have enough confidence, self-worth, and strength to deal with whatever it is you're receiving, whether it is good or bad. I think this is number 6. You don't have to follow trends. You do not have to follow what other people wear. This whole feminine look, or whatever the trends are, I don't even know what the trends are. This whole look, you should look like this to be in your, what's this? Is it like black cat energy I've heard, or whatever the bloody hell it is? You don't have to follow what other people are wearing to be in a certain type of energy, to be in a certain type of confidence. Wear this to feel confident. No, wear what makes you feel confident. It doesn't have to be in trend. I can promise you now, if you put something on that is like high brand, like top of the trend, and you feel crap in it, you're going to look crap in it. If you put something on that isn't in trend, is so out of season, is like cheap or whatever, but you feel incredible in it, you feel like really good in it, you're going to look good. How you feel shines from the inside out. So follow what feels right on you and what feels right for you. It doesn't mean you have to wear heels and loads of makeup and whatever it is. If you love that, like I do, then go for it. But if you prefer, actually, you know what? I think I look really good in a tracksuit or tracky bottoms and a crop top and a nice pair of trainers, or I feel like I look really good in shorts, but I don't like skirts. Okay, cool, wear shorts. Wear whatever feels right for you, because how you feel is going to shine on the outside, and that is going to boost your confidence. How you feel in what you're wearing, what you look like, how your hair is, how you take care of your appearance is going to shine. When you feel like you look good, you actually look good. Number 7. Now this is a little bit of a different one, and you might not feel like this impacts your self-worth or your feminine energy or your confidence, but I feel like it does. If you have a cluttered home, I believe you have a cluttered mind. And if you have a cluttered mind, how can you be in that open, receiving feminine energy? I think keeping decluttered spaces is really important. Now, someone like me who struggles with this, I have certain places in my house, I'll be honest, such as cupboards and certain places where I like to put a lot of stuff. My home is clean, clear. You will not see mess anywhere. I do have certain spaces that may be a little bit more cluttered. Every 3-4 weeks, I will go through these spaces and I will declutter them, right? And I make sure that I do this because I feel like if I don't, slowly over time, my mind starts to feel cluttered. Your mind will be the same as however your home is. If your home is cluttered up, dirty, messy, all of that stuff, your mind is cluttered up, dirty and messy. Do you ever feel like when you do a massive spring clean and you keep everything nice, that actually you feel really good? This is your home. This is where you live. And I don't care if you're in a bed sit, if you're in a 5-bedroom house, if you're at a shared accommodation, or if you just got a small room at home with family. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever your safe space is, that is your little safe space, make it homely and make it clear. This allows more things to come to you because your energetic space, your physical energetic space is clear. Now, if you are like me and you struggle with this is why I'm saying this. Have a specific place where you put things, and every now and then you can actually go through and declutter them. And I actually find that really good as well, because it makes me feel better, because the house is always clear. Like, my main rooms that I use are always clear. Then when I go through the cupboards, there's 3 cupboards in particular. When I go through those cupboards, I feel so good about it. I feel like I've cleared energy. I feel like I've cleared things, right? You will feel so much better about it when you take care and you nurture your home. It's important that we nurture our home, that we take care of our home, even if it's not your forever place, even if it's not a place where you are going to be forever. It is the place that you rest your head. It is the place that you sleep. It is the place that you rest, right? So it's the place that you recuperate. So you want to feel safe in this environment as much as you can. Now, I understand that's not always the case for everyone, but you want to feel like it is part of you. This will help increase your feminine energy. The last one, which is number 8, how you treat your vessel. I've kind of already mentioned this, but I'm going to mention it properly now. How you physically treat your vessel in terms of the food that you consume, the movement of your body. This has a big impact on how you feel about yourself. If you are sitting around and you are not doing anything, and sorry, there's a bit of fluff there. If you are sitting around and you are not doing anything, and you are sat down all day and you are not eating foods that are good for you, not eating enough, eating too much, this is going to affect how you feel physically in your vessel. When we don't feel physically good in our vessel, it starts to tear down our confidence, because we're not feeling good about our external appearance. I'm not saying you have to be a certain look, a certain weight. It does not matter how you actually look. How you look is how you look, right? That's how you were born. You should respect it. You should love it and learn to love it. But how we are then continuing to treat our vessel is going to impact how you feel internally. This can be a process. This was a massive process for me. I've spoken about this before in some of my other videos about weight. I was someone who yo-yoed a lot. I had to do a lot of work on my subconscious mind, on the foods that I eat, the way that I would see myself in terms of weight. So I understand that this is a very difficult one. But when you start to treat your body right, you are no longer neglecting it. When we are promising ourselves that we're going to eat well, go on this diet, or like do this, or go to the gym, and then we don't do it, we're actually neglecting ourselves and we're neglecting our body. I would say with this one in particular, if you make a promise to yourself of how you're going to physically treat your vessel in terms of food and movement, you have to stick to it as long as you can. And another thing with this, which I've spoken about before, is if you are doing the healthy eating and the movement in terms of changing the way that you look, it's going to be really, really difficult to upkeep. If you are doing it in terms of, I want to feel good, I love myself enough, I love myself enough to feel good and to treat my body in a way where I'm not neglecting it, then it's going to be easier to upkeep, right? Because if you keep talking down to yourself and telling yourself, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I don't look good, this, that, and the other. And I understand this is a process. This isn't something for some people that is overnight, because it wasn't for me. And I still have tiny moments now where I have to go, right, come on, Laura, we're going to treat ourselves with love and respect. And we're going to eat this, this, and that, right? Now, it's about finding balance with what we eat and the movement of our body. But we have to remember that if we keep talking down to the way that we look, we're then not going to take the time and effort to prepare the foods we need, and take the time to, because it's hard going to the gym, right? Take the time we need to move the body, right? It can be difficult if you are somebody who isn't at a healthy state. At first, when you start it, it is difficult, and it should continue to be, right? Because that's how we grow. When we're growing and we're developing and we're evolving, it's not comfortable. So with this one in particular, I would say that to build confidence and self-worth, it's not about changing the way that you look. It's about changing your mindset about why you are doing the things you are doing to your vessel. Because if we keep saying, oh, I'm going to eat healthier to look skinny, we're in that place of lack. We're saying that we're not looking how we should do. If you're saying, right, I'm going to go to the gym because I hate this about myself, you're tearing yourself down. Instead of saying, actually, I'm going to move more, I'm going to eat better, because I love myself enough to treat my vessel in a way that it deserves to be treated, it's going to be so much easier to upkeep. And you're actually boosting your own self-worth. You're boosting your own confidence because you're already talking good to yourself. We have to be happy with the now. If we're not happy with the now, you're never going to be happy in the future. I don't care what weight you are, what you look like. It doesn't matter how many times you change it. And you can talk to people that have had surgeries on the way that they look, that have changed the way they look, that have lost loads of weight, that have gained loads of weight. If you are not happy now, it doesn't matter what you do, you will never be happy. We have to change our mindset on the reasoning behind what we're doing, right? And how we're treating our body. I hope that makes sense. If you want any further help with any of these things, then please check out my website. There's loads of tools on there, loads of different things about confidence, about tapping more into your feminine energy. You'll find that on the Divinity course and the Activation of the Mystic course, which you can all find on the website, and I will see you next week.